and welcome to another episode of my Working with Todoist series. My name is Pullein, and this week it's all about showing you my favorite features of 2020. Now, Todoist have been really busy this year pushing out some amazing new features, from boards to sort to sections, although sections did come out at the end of last year. And what I really wanted to do at the end of the year is to show you how I've incorporated these new features into my own workflow. Now, before we go any further, if you do get any value from this video, then please help me by clicking on that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to get all the latest tips, tricks and news on using Todoist, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, let me take you into my demo account now, and I'm going to show you how I've incorporated all the new features that Todoist have revealed this year. Okay, so let me start off with probably the biggest update that Todoist released this year, and that is with the boards. Now, I have two ways of using the boards. The first one, which I've covered up before actually, was my purpose on and objectives. Now, this is just my way of planning the week and planning the month in overview or outline form. And I just find this useful as a place to go to refocus if I ever find myself thinking, oh, where am I? What am I supposed to be doing? And this is where I generally would go just to regather my thoughts, to decide what I'm trying to achieve this week or this month. Now, the first thing I do when I go into board view, by the way, is I hit the M key to remove the menu. I like to have a nice clear view, which is what you can see here. So I have four columns here, and essentially what I'm doing is this week's focus. Now, as you can see here, there's no actual on the focus task here, just like because it's just a focus, they're not tasks. These are non-completable tasks. So I think as Todoist calls them uncompletable tasks. And so essentially to do that, to create a non-completable task, you just put the asterisk at the front of the task, followed by a space, and then type what you want. When you do that, you don't get a checkbox. So this is where my focus is going to be this week. Now, this is my demo account, but my focus this week is to exercise 6 times and to work on this week's webinars. Now, my objectives. Now, this one's as you can see here, these are completable tasks, and so I want to get all my 2020 projects completed this week, because then from the 21st I can say that's it, I'm on vacation, kind of. Prepare my workbooks for the webinars and complete Tony Robbins' Unlimited Power course. That's my objectives for this week. So that helps me when it comes to planning. Now, this month's objectives, very similar to this week's objectives. What am I trying to get completed by the end of this month? So finalize the Email Mastery 2021 edition project plans and complete my kind of close down of my English language business. And then I have quarterly objectives as well, because as a business owner, you will understand that most businesses run quarterly rather than monthly. So that's where I have my quarters objectives. So that's one of the first areas that I'm using boards. It's kind of my overview plan up to this quarter. I don't go beyond that simply because, and I'm going to bring back the menu now. And to bring back the menu, just hit the M key, or you can hit the menu item here, by the way, close the menu, open the menu. The second way I use boards, again, is related to planning. And in this case, I've got my 2021 planning. I'm moving out the board again. Now, this one's a little bit different, of course, because we're dealing with the 4 quarters, which you can see here. And I've got my objectives. Now, none of these, as you can see here, have a completable task. They're all uncompletable and non-completable tasks. This is where I'm planning out my projects for 2021. Now, these are the big overview projects that I intend to do each quarter next year. Now, the thing is that there are going to be other projects that will come from time to time that will probably get added. But having this outline allows me to make sure that I'm not over-scheduling myself. So in Q1, I know that to do an online course takes 6 weeks. The email mastery course, I've actually started already. I'm going to be doing it over the next couple of weeks, just doing out the planning. The time and life mastery course update, that's a big one. That's a total re-record. That's probably going to take 8 weeks. That means February and March will be taken up with time and life mastery. So I've really only got January to do the email mastery course update. Write the time sector system book. Now that's an ongoing project. That's not going to be something I can do in one quarter. And so you can see it's duplicated over here. So it's also in Q2. But that is more than enough to keep me busy in Q1. Now Q2, hopefully if the pandemic situation changes, I will be able to travel and visit my family. So this is here. The trip to Ireland is there because I need to be aware that's a 2-week commitment where I'm not going to be in my normal environment. So I need to be aware of where I'm going to be, so it helps me when I'm planning my projects. So I've got 2 courses to update. They should be 6 weeks each. So that's 12 weeks of that 3-month period. So that's essentially my 3 months done, and continue writing the time sector system book. So you can see how I'm being able to manipulate the year, or look at the year and think, okay, this is where I'm going to be doing. Q3 is going to be my busy month because I'd like, again, subject to the current COVID situation, I'd like my wife and I to go to Sydney to do Tony Robbins' UPW event. Hopefully that's going to be in Q3. We're also moving house in Q3. That would be so. That's. But then when you think about these 2 items, going to Sydney for a workshop, essentially, that's just 1 week. Moving to the East Coast is probably 2 days of where I'm not going to be able to do any work. So I'm really going to lose maybe about 9 to 10 days of that 3-month quarter. So really I can still do these. Your Digital Life will not need a big update this year in 2021 simply because it had a big update this year. The Apple Productivity System course, again, also had a big update this year. So it just needs any new features that Apple brings out will be added into that course. So only the Productivity Masterclass course would be a big 6-week update. And then finally in Q4, I've got my Chuncheon Marathon, which means is something that I need to be making sure I'm preparing for. I've got another trip to Ireland, hopefully in the UK at Christmas time. And then, so I'm going to publish the book. So really, I've only got 1 course update. So Q4 will be winding down the year. So I'm really happy with the way that is going. Over here, the objectives, this is what my kind of goals, if you like, or objectives for the year are, is to reduce the body fat percentage less than 20%, complete Chuncheon Marathon in under 4 hours, and to grow the business by 70%. So that's how I'm making full use of Todoist boards. They are brilliant. I love them. And those are the 2 ways I use that. Another feature that came out, and this one actually came out in the last couple of weeks, is the sort function. So let's just go into this week where I've got list view. So I've got a number of things in here. So I've got my recurring areas of focus, if you're following the time sector system, and in here. Now there's a couple of things I want to show. I can sort this by due date. Now what you're going to notice is because I've got a sort by setup on this, I cannot move these tasks around. I can't move them to another project. I can't do anything with them. I can move the sections, so you can move sections around, but I cannot move individual tasks. That's because I've got my sort turned on. If you turn the sort off by hitting the cross at the side of it, now I can move these around. I can move these to next week, this month. I can move these around in here as well. So that's something just to keep in mind. A lot of people have been commenting on my videos saying, oh, I can't move my tasks around. If that ever happens, just check sort. You've probably got it turned on. So I'm going to sort by due date. And so that's how you want to be looking at that. As soon as you turn on sort, you can't move these around. Now, logically, that kind of makes sense because you're asking Todoist to do the sorting for you. So why would you also want to manually move your tasks around? If you want to manually move tasks around, then turn your sort off. I find this really useful because not every project I would actually want to see it by due date. I might want to see, like, for example, my filter here, today's focus, that one is sorted by priority because that's how I want to see it. My objectives are at the top, followed by my morning tasks, which are orange, and my afternoon tasks, which are blue. So that's a really good way of using that. I'm not going to be sorting that out. I want Todoist to do that for me. So that's another one that I've actually incorporated into my system this year. And finally, the other one was the sections. Now, actually, sections came out toward the end of last year, but sections were kind of game changing. In the past, what I did with my routines, I used to have all my routines, it would be a parent folder followed by a sub-project of daily, weekly, and monthly. What's happened here is by doing it into sections, I can switch to the board view if I wish. Again, let's move the side menu, and then I can quickly see when I'm doing a review all my tasks for the week. So again, I can go now into sort and sort by due date, and I can't move. By the way, when you do it in the board, you can't move these around either. They're stuck. If you want to move them, change it, turn off the sort. So again, now I can see in here that very quickly I can see where my tasks are going to be. So I've got 7 daily, 3 weekly, and 5 monthly. This is just my demo account. There's a lot more actually in my regular account. So I can see very quickly what I have to do in the coming weeks or in the next few days. So if I just look at the top line here, I can see that I've got to chase some invoices on the 27th of December, checking my bank accounts today, and reviewing and updating my client list. So that's another great way. If I turn off the sort, this will go back to the way it was before. But all that is there for you. And I do like the way that sections have worked for my routines. They've just given that little extra way of being able to quickly see the tasks. And that's really it. My three main features that Todoist have brought out this year. I do love sections. I think they're a great way of keeping this sidebar nice, clean, and simple. And you can keep all related stuff together. It's just a fantastic way of managing your tasks. I think Todoist have done a fantastic job this year, particularly with the difficulties that most of us have had with the pandemic. But those are the 3 main features that I've actually loved this year. There's been a lot of cosmetic changes in the background. They've changed a few things up here as well, but those were the main things. You've got these home button here, which you can use. So there's been quite a few new features that have come out this year, but for all intents and purposes, those are the 3 big ones that I absolutely love: the board view, the sections, and the sort, which only came out a few weeks ago. So there you go. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode. And it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around: getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.